everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle and I hope you guys are doing well. Today I actually filmed this look for you guys. It is just my everyday makeup routine. So every time you see me with makeup on, this is the look that I do. And also I'm just going to be showing you guys how I cover my acne scars. So if you guys have seen me in my videos without any makeup, you can see that I do have acne and I have very severe scarring. So I just show you guys in this video how I cover that up with my foundation and all of my other products. Also, part of this video is gonna be a voiceover because I had such a hard time filming this. The house was so freaking loud. Towards the end it is gonna be a voiceover, but I still show all of the products. I still show how I'm gonna do it. So I think it should be helpful to everyone. So if you guys would like to see how I do my everyday makeup and also cover these scars, please stay tuned. Hey guys, so I know that I usually don't come on here looking ashy, but I really wanted to show you guys what I do before I do my makeup. So I already washed my face and I didn't put any lotion on or anything, so I'm gonna just do that on camera. And I look bald because my hair is still in a wrap. So just, I know I look crusty. I always look crusty when I come on here, but it's okay. After I wash my face, the first thing that I do is put on my toner. So right now I'm using the Thayer's Astringent. It's the Witch Hazel Aloe Vera formula. And this is how the bottle looks. I got mine off of Amazon. I get everything off of Amazon. And usually I would use a cotton pad to put it on my face, but recently I've really been liking a spray bottle. So I just put some in a spray bottle and I spray my face and I let it dry. Whew. So while this dries, I just want to let you guys know, you know what? I gotta put on some Vaseline because my lips are chapped, okay? Dry. While this dries, I just want to let you guys know a little bit about my skin. So I have pretty severe acne and I do have a lot of acne scarring. I have tried everything for my skin. I have gone to the dermatologist a few times. I have used medication that they have prescribed. So that was topical, pills, all that stuff. I have used it. Nothing really works to like take away my acne. I have used masks, at-home remedies, over-the-counter stuff, everything that you can possibly think of. I have already tried it. So I don't really ask people for recommendations. It's kind of annoying when people just give me recommendations without me asking. It's kind of rude, so please don't do that. My makeup routine does not break me out. I know what I should use and what I shouldn't use for my skin. For instance, I used to use coconut oil to take off my makeup because someone on YouTube told me that it would be nice to do, and it did take off my makeup really well, but it used to break me out in the end, so I stopped using it. So everyone who has, you know, issues with their skin, they know what to use and what not to use. So my makeup routine does not break me out. I only wear makeup maybe once or twice a month, and I started wearing it a little bit more since I started my channel, but still it's not every day. Like, I've never been the type of person to wear makeup every day. So that does not affect my skin at all. I have just had acne since I was a kid. Since puberty started, I got acne and it never went away, and I've been to the dermatologist and it's just severe. So I have looked into like Accutane and stuff, so once I go back to my dermatologist, I am going to ask more questions about it and see if I need it or if I should try something else to see if it goes away. That's really just the whole, you know, story about my skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my moisturizer now. And right now I am using the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream. It's for extra dry skin and I really like this product. This moisturizer is really good. And I typically have very oily skin, so I always thought that I should use a moisturizer that gets rid of that, but I notice when I moisturize a lot, like when I use something that is very moisturizing, I do not get as oily and I do not break out as much. So that's just my tip to anyone who struggles with acne. Try using a moisturizer that is for extra dry skin, because your skin might be overproducing oil and thus clogging your pores, which produces more breakouts. I am not a dermatologist, so don't quote me. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put my moisturizer on. When I have nails, like I just put it on the back of my nail like this and rub it in. And that is my routine. So this is my daytime routine. I don't do a lot during the day, and the night is when I get real fancy, get my serums, you know, stuff like that. I did not mention what I wash my face with. Right now, I wash my face with Dr. Bronner soap. So my dad only buys Dr. Bronner soap. We've tried every scent that they have, and I've used all of them on my skin, and they do not cause breakouts or anything like that. I personally feel that soaps don't really add or take away to minimizing breakouts. I've never seen that. Maybe there is a soap that does that. The medicated soap that I got from my dermatologist, that definitely helped. But any other soap that I've ever used, it does not add or take away. I'm okay with Dr. Bronner's. It's natural, and whatever one my dad brings in the house for the week, that's the one that I wash my face with. And I use a tiny bit. If you've ever used Dr. Bronner's soap, you know that a tiny bit goes a long way. So I just use it really like a drop on my spin brush, and I wash my face, and that's that. And I air dry. I don't use a towel. Sometimes I'll use a paper towel if I don't want to wait, but by the time I get to my room from the bathroom, my skin is dry. So I don't do anything special regarding washing. It's really just what I put on my face that aids with my issues with my acne. So that is that for my skincare routine. I'm gonna go ahead and get into my makeup. Okay, so I zoomed in just a little bit more so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing to my face. Before I start, I just wanna show you guys how bad my skin is. So this, I have it really bad, mainly on my cheeks. My forehead is pretty bad as well, but it gets really dark around my cheeks. So here we are, and this is this. I got a lot right here, and yeah, and this is my forehead. The only place that doesn't really give me a lot of issues is my nose, but everywhere, man, everywhere. Okay, so the first thing that I do before I put on my makeup is put on my primer. And right now I'm using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I swear by this primer, I really, really like it. I feel like primer is really important because for an oily skin person, it's really easy for our makeup to slide around throughout the day, and we don't want that. The next step that I do really helps with covering my acne scars so that my foundation looks really flawless. So this was a trend like a few years back, but I haven't really been seeing people do it recently. I actually stopped. My skin kind of cleared up a little bit. Like I didn't have a lot of the blacker marks. So I didn't have to really do this, but since I do have them right now, I think this step is still pretty important. And I just use a red corrector because red cancels out dark marks and green cancels out more red marks. Wherever I have dark marks, I just put a little bit on. Don't need a lot because you're going to blend it out. Sometimes I would just create lines because it's so much that I have that day, and then just blend it out after. Okay, so after I put on my corrector, I actually go in with my eyebrows because I like to just let that sit and dry so that once I put my foundation on, it's not moving. So I do my eyebrows and then I will come back and start putting on my foundation. I'm not gonna show my eyebrows because I do have an eyebrow tutorial, and if you have not watched it as yet, you should go watch it after this video. I'm gonna link it up in the cards up here, and you can watch it after. Okay, so I am back and my brows are pretty much done. The next thing that I do is my foundation, and this is the most important part because it is what I'm gonna use to cover up my acne marks. So the foundations that I'm going to use is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless foundation in the shade Cadiz, and also my Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 390. I just shake them both up. I noticed that I like to mix my foundations. I've always been that girl, just because I'm really hesitant about colors. So I mix my foundation that is basically my shade with a darker foundation, just a tad bit, so that it just matches a little bit better. This is just my personal preference. That's what I like, so that's what I do. Both of these foundations are full coverage. As you can see, my skin is severe, so I have to use full coverage. I'm not a BB or a CC cream kind of girl. No lightweight, nothing. No, I need full coverage. A lot of people might think that the amount of pumps that I'm about to use is a lot, but again, this is my skin. I know it works, and I never look cakey. So for the foundation shade that is my exact shade, I use about 5 pumps. I'm not even gonna lie. For the darker shade, I would just use maybe 1 or just a half a pump. So just a really tiny bit, and I do everything on the back of my hand. Go ahead and mix it up with my hand, and I just tap, 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 mix, mix, mix. And that's the color that I get. Whatever is on my finger that I have been mixing my foundation with, I start with it on my face. I don't go directly in with a beauty blender. I go in with my finger first and cover the areas that I know need the most coverage. So now is when I go in with my beauty blender and I just pounce that foundation over my skin, and I'm doing it very lightly because I want the full coverage. Some people say that using a brush is better. To me, it gives the same effect, so it's really up to you. Okay, so as you can see, this side looks very different from this side. Basically, it's full coverage. I see some spots that I need a little bit more foundation in, so I put some on my finger. Just gonna tap on those places. For this side, I really just like do that and then take my beauty blender and blend. Everywhere else, I just put the remainder. If I have to add more, I'll add more. I'm really trying not to put foundation on my neck right now because I'm gonna wear a turtleneck. So I don't really need it, but just for the sake of the video. People say like it's hard to get foundation around their eyebrows. I don't think so. Like, you just take your time. Like, It's really not that hard. Stop complaining. I have my full face covered. So I went from like very dark marks to not much at all. It's a very good base for the rest of my makeup. After I put my foundation on, I actually start with my concealer, and I use the Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shades 330 and 310. These shades right here. So I start with 330, which is the darker shade first, and I just go under my eye and I do one eye at a time. This concealer is also pretty good with full coverage, but it's not cakey at all. It's really easy to blend out, so I really do recommend it. I really like it. Before this, I was just using my LA Girl concealer, but once I got this, I was like, oh yes. So I just add the concealer to my eye like this, and then I add the lighter concealer on top of it. And this is just to give me a little bit more brightness, just a little bit like this. And I go in with my beauty blender. And I like to bring it down by my nose so that it's like a seamless blend. The other thing that I do, because I don't really do eyeshadow, is I bring the concealer over my eye, and that will act as my eye primer for whatever little, thing that I do with my eye. Once I'm done concealing both eyes, I'll go in and conceal my forehead, my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And I just use the darkest shade, which is 330, and I only use a little bit. So, ooh, that's a lot. Okay. And then just make a little line going down, a little bit here, and a little bit here. It's really just for highlighting purposes, nothing special. Okay, so I have concealed everywhere. Now I just go back under my eye and fix any creasing that happened, because I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes. So to set my concealer, I use the Sacha Buttercup powder. This is just the powder that I've always used. I did buy the Fenty Beauty setting powder, but I bought too light of a shade. So right now I'm still using this until I decide to get a new one. It's really good. I like it. I do want to try new stuff though. So yeah, leave any suggestions. If you use a certain setting powder, leave one down below. I want to try it. So what I do is I take a little square, not even a square, wow. I take a little triangle thing like this, and I use this side and I just press it in, knock it off, and then I go in. I just try to fix the creasing one last time. Combat that oil. Like that. So I look like I'm casket ready. Okay, so now that I have the setting powder on the places that I concealed, I actually go in with my finishing powder over the rest of my face so that I set my foundation. The setting powder that I use is the Makeup Forever Duo Matte powder foundation, and it is the shade 214. This is where I start using brushes because everything else I use a beauty blender for. So I go in with this complexion brush from e.l.f. It is dirty. I did not wash my brushes. Don't drag me, okay? And I just go in with the product like this. Dust some off, and then I just go in with like a light layer, really lightly. Just go around my face and set the rest of my face. And that's that. So now my concealer is set and my foundation is set. So this is where I'll actually go in with my eyeshadow, and it is very, very basic. I do not do anything special because honestly, I don't even wear lashes. So I just try to keep everything nice and simple. So before I even start anything, I take my fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is from Morphe. It's the MB23 brush. Dust off that powder, blend it in. The palette that I'm using today, which is the palette that I use anytime I'm doing my makeup, it's the Morphe 9C palette, and it looks like this. Very, very pretty. It's great for, you know, brown girls, people of color. I go in with either Rock Out or Stone Fox. I mostly pick up Stone Fox because it's more brown and less red. I don't really want anything dramatic, so I just go in with a little bit of that over my entire eye. If I want to get fancy, I add a little bit of shimmer in my eyelid. Right now I'm obsessed with Zamn from the Jackie Aina palette. This color right here. Obsessed, just obsessed. Okay, so this is where I had to do the voiceover. So to contour my face, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, and I'm using this contour brush that I got from Amazon. After that, I'm using my complexion brush from e.l.f. to dust away the powder from under my eyes. And then I'm going to use that same brush to bronze my face using my MAC bronzing powder in the shade Refined Golden. After bronzer, I will go ahead and use my Sacha Buttercup powder to carve out my cheekbones. After that, I bronze just a little bit more with the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Bajan Gyal. Now I'm just dusting off the setting powder and adding blush, which is from MAC, and the shade is Raizin. I also got the blush brush from Amazon as well. Next, for my under eye, I'm just going to go in with that same Morphe palette using the same color from my eyelid. I'm just going to dust that using that same exact brush. For highlighter, I'm going to be using the MAC highlighter in the shade Global Glow, and I'm using a blush brush from e.l.f. Also add a little bit more highlight using the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter. It's the second one that came out, but I think I lost it, so I don't know the shade, but I'll put it in the description down below. For lips, I'm going to line with Chestnut from MAC, and my lip gloss of choice is always NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie, and my new favorite top gloss is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, and the shade is Hot Chocolate. So for setting sprays, I actually do a combination of two. First, I use the MAC Fix Plus, and then after that, I go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. After that, I just add my Better Than Sex mascara, and that is it. And this is how the skin came out. I think it looks really good, nice and glowy, and my scars are covered pretty well. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and also please make sure that you are subscribed and that you turn your post notifications on so that you do not miss another video. Thank you for watching. Bye.